I was talking to you, got you over here. What's your name? Huh? Cashman? What's your name? Terrell, right? Terrell? Okay, so y'all hear what he was saying, right? Going over the image of the beast. The image that was taught to us in slavery about white Jesus. Because this image destroyed us. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all understand that? How this image put hatred in our communities? They put me and you against each other? It did that, right? You agree? So we're wearing that cross, or not the cross, wearing the image of white Jesus, or this guy right here is what? An idol. You bringing a curse upon yourself. I'm going to show you that in the Bible. Watch this. Deuteronomy 7, verse 25. Watch this. Because it's heavy. It's more than just, oh, I know he's not white, but I know he's black, but I'm still going to rock the Jesus pieces or the cross, the crucifix. God don't want us to do any of those things because they are all teachers of lies. God doesn't want us to do that. So watch this, I'm going to show you. And I want you to listen good, right? It said trail, right? Watch this, read.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 25. The graven images.
See that? He said the what? Graven images. How was that made? It was graven. It was beat. It was put together, right? Read.
The graven images of their gods.
Of who?
Of their gods.
Wait a minute. Why did it say their gods? Because who does that look like? Does that look like our people? No. It's a white man. It's not our people. This is the image of God in the Bible. God looks like us. Our God is a black man.
Bring it out.
We're the only nation of people that serve a God that looks totally different than us. Completely different, completely strange. We serving every other God. We are running to Buddhism. We're running to Allah. We're running to chakras. We're running to anything because we've lost our identity. That's what the last prophet was bringing out. Now God is saying, once you remember yourself, once you come back to knowing you're the 12 tribes of Israel, and you still have these idols and these things that you've been taught, this is what you must do. Read it again.
Deuteronomy 7, verse 25. The graven images of their gods.
Of their gods. This is another race god that they forced upon us. When? In slavery. Read.
Shall ye burn?
Shall you do what?
Shall ye burn?
What did God say to do with that Jesus piece? He said burn it. Or what? We don't have a fire right here in front of us, so what could you do? You see that trash can right there? You keep the chain, you would take the image of Jesus off, or white Jesus, and you throw it away. Watch this, I like that. You said it got diamonds in it, right? Go, right? Watch this.
Shall ye burn with fire? Thou shalt not desire.
What? Wait a minute. It said, thou shalt not desire.
Thou shalt not desire the silver.
The what?
The silver.
Or whatever.
Or gold.
Or the what?
Or gold.
You see that? God say don't desire the silver or the gold. Because you say, oh, got diamonds in it. No. God said, I don't care if it got diamonds in it. I don't care if it's $1 million. I don't care if it's $1 trillion. It's an idol.
That's right.
Because our people wear those things because they think that's their protection. That's my safety. I got a cross on. I'm safe. You're not safe. You're not safe. How many Christians you know is getting put to death in the midst of sins, in the midst of fornication, in the midst of adultery? The cross didn't deliver them. The cross didn't tell them, hey, don't sleep with that brother's wife. That's his wife. Oh, I got the cross on. That keep me safe. No, it don't. Only the laws of God is what deliver us. So, we back to you again. Dealing with the image. Read it again.
The graven images of their gods.
The graven images of their gods. We already established that's not our God. No, you can't hide it. Watch this. I'm going to show you this. Watch this. Read.
Shall ye burn with fire? Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee.
It said, nor take it unto thee. Because guess what you did? You tucked it in your shirt, right? Everything is in the Bible. Everything we do as a people is in the Bible. God said, you can't take it unto thee. How? Read.
Lest thou be snared therein.
He said, lest you be what? Trapped. Because the understanding we're bringing out about who we are, The Israelites, God said, you keep that image on you, you keep that and you take it with you, it's going to trap you. Meaning what? Trap you from what? Gaining the knowledge. You won't understand any of this we're bringing out because you still got white man on your mind. You still got massa on your mind because you're still worshiping that image. If you believe God, you'll take that image off and you'll throw it right in that trash right there. That's what you'll do. God is testing you today. God is marking you today. He's saying, what you gonna do? You gonna serve God or you gonna serve the beast? Which one is gonna be? Read that again, verse 26.
Verse 20, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 26. Neither shall thou bring an abomination into thy house.
What the Bible say?
Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thy house.
Oh, now I'm gonna ask Trell. What does that mean? Remember, this is talking about the idols, right? We worshiping. It said, neither shall you bring it into thy house. What you think that means?
Shouldn't bring it nowhere around.
Right, you should bring it nowhere around you. Meaning what? He cannot leave here today and take that idol home with him. We're trying to give him the option. The trash is right there. The trash is right there. If you love God, that's where you put that idol. If you love God, you will throw that idol in the trash because we prove the image of Christ that he's a black man. You believe that too because you said it out of your mouth. So now God is testing if you really believe that. And right now it looks like you're failing. You failing. Read.
Lest thou be a cursed thing like it.
You see why the curses came upon us? Remember we read about the curses. God said if you keep it on you, you shall be a cursed thing. Come on, throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the garbage. You took it off? Garbage right here. Show God your repentance. Show God you love him more than money. Our people love money more than God. We got to change. Come on, the garbage right here. A few feet. A few feet. Read.
But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it.
God, you see what they're saying? You know what abhor means? To hate. God said we should hate their images because it brings us no peace. When they got their images and signs up and memorials of them, it was of them destroying us. It was of them doing this to us. Because when white man Jesus was pushed on us, where was we at? Right here. You see these signs? You see the atrocities that happened to our forefathers, foremothers? Uh-oh, he's going to the trash. Is he going to the trash? Where you going? Where you going? Come back over here. Come back. Nope. Put it back. Put it in the garbage. If you love God, that's what you will do. You don't love God. You see our people? We hate God's laws. We hate God. Truly, inside of our hearts, because we love this guy right here. This guy tells us we can do whatever we will, and we will be saved. But that's not so. God told us if we broke his commandments, if we go against him, he's going to judge us. And remember, why did we go into slavery? Trail?
We broke our 10 commandments.
Because we broke the commandments, right? So watch this. God said, if we keep the idols upon us, like that brother did, watch what's going to happen to us.
For it is a cursed thing.
It's a cursed thing.
Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thy house.
So he's going to take that abomination and take it to his house. Now let's see what happens.
Let thou be a cursed thing like it.
Now you wonder why we cursed as a people? Because we don't obey the laws. You heard what that said? You take it into your house, you're going to be a cursed thing like it. Give me Isaiah 30:22. How are we supposed to feel about these images? We're supposed to hate them and despise them. We're supposed to cast our idols away like a minstrel's rag. You know that? But our people don't do it because our people hate God and we love the white man. That's why we at the bottom. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 22. Ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver, and the ornament of thy molten image of gold. Thou shalt cast them away.
What did God say?
Thou shalt cast them away.
You see, everything we do up here is biblical. We just showing our people what the Bible say to get the love of God. We told them to what? Cast it away. Did we not say throw it in the garbage multiple times? But did he do that? No. Because we are stiff-necked people. But guess what? We did our job. Our job is to come out here and warn the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans what they must do to get right with God.
Right.
If you don't want to listen, that's fine. That's why our community is going to stay like it is. That's why our store is going to stay dirty and disgusting. That's why we're going to have our people homeless always.
Right.
That's why our people are always going to be strung out on drugs.
Right.
Because we don't want to obey the commandments of God.
Right.
God gave us simple instructions. Keep my commandments and live.
Right.
You disobey the commandments, you die.
Right.
It's that simple. Sisters, come and listen. Come and learn. Read that.
Shall cast him away as a minstrel's cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence.
You see what he was supposed to say? He said, cast it away as a minstrel's cloth. A minstrel's cloth is what? Full of blood,
Right.
all nastiness of a woman.
Right.
God said you're supposed to look at the cross, the idols that we have on our necks as that.
Right.
As disgusting.
That's right.
It's supposed to be cast away. Because guess what? What's the judgment for not doing it? What you think the judgment is?
Judgment is that
Is what?
it's all type of things.
Okay, all type of things. Let's be specific. What you think, Terrell? Also, let me say this. When the Bible is coming out, according to the Bible, we got to have our head uncovered. So out of respect for Christ, guess what? Take your hat off. Take your hat off too. Okay, all praises. Good. That show what? Guess what you show right there? A level of love for God.
That's right.
A lot of our people don't have that, but you just showed it.
Right.
Something simple as that.
Right.
God said, I desire of my people.
Right.
I desire of my people. We'll do it for the white people.
Right.
But when it comes to the God of this Bible, I gotta think about it. I don't know. It's a lot of money. I spent $100 on this.
Right.
No. You telling me $100 is more valuable than God? No. Give me Romans 6:23. My brother, come listen, come listen. Come over here for a second. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. Come over here. Watch this. Romans 6:23. Because remember the question, Trell. I said, what is a judgment for wearing idols? It's death. Watch this. Read.
The book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
What did the Bible say?
For the wages of sin is death.
God said the wages of sin is what? It's death. So if we don't want to die, what must we do? We must follow the commandments, right? Because let me ask you a question. Because you've been up here listening. Who are you according to the Bible?
Man,
Okay, you say you're a man. African American. Okay, let's deal with that. Does God consider us African Americans? Isaiah 65:15. Does God consider us that? Yeah, you think so? No. No. Because the name African and American is not us. That's two white men names. Amerigo Vespucci is the one that so-called discovered the land that Native Americans was already on, and they named it after him. These are things and names that come from our oppressor. God told us, remember, if we disobey his commandments, like what are some of God's commandments? Wearing a cross,
Right.
disobeying it. Disobeying God's commandments by wearing a cross. Fornication, meaning what? Boyfriend and girlfriend. That's not biblical.
Right.
Listen to me. Come over here real quick. Because I want to ask you a question. Because I asked him his nationality. He told me he was an African American. Trail here. What's your name? Kamara. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. What is your nationality?
I
Native American? Is your father? Father Native American? Okay, cool. So Native American, again, the word American, Amerigo Vespucci, a white man. He so-called found this land that was already possessed by Native Americans, and they named it after him.
Right.
But who are we before that? Who are we? We don't know. So that's what we're doing out here. We try to show our people that. Now watch this. I want you to listen. Trail and what's your name again? Kamara. I'm Zebediah. All right. Trail and Kamara. And who? Really? Okay, come and join us. Watch this. We're going to read out the Bible what God said will happen to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the future if we disobeyed his commandments.
Right.
Watch this. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 16. Verse 15. And ye shall leave your name.
God said, we as a people will leave our original name? Because I asked y'all said, really gave me answers that y'all really don't know. Because the answers y'all gave me was just titles that they call us today. But before 1492, when the conquistadors came over here, who were you? Before 1619, before we got brought over here in slave ships, who were we?
Right.
We don't know. So God is telling us, read.
And ye shall leave your name
God said, you will leave your original name. Read.
for a curse.
For what?
For a curse.
The name Native American is a curse.
Right.
African American is a curse.
Right.
Black man, curse. I am a man, curse. That's not our nationality.
That's right.
That's not our nationality. Because with nationality comes what? Heritage. With heritage comes what? Laws, customs, things that we do, ways that we dress. That all comes with a heritage. But if we don't know our original name, we don't know our heritage. We only know the Negro that was created by the white man in America. That's the only heritage we know. Read.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen.
So my chosen.
For the Lord God shall slay thee.
God said what? He would do what to us?
Slay thee.
God said he would slay us. Sister, what's your name? Let me see it. Because this is Trail. I remember that. Kamara, okay. Kamara. Sis, what's your name? Come here. Kimberly, okay, Kimberly. So what we're doing right now is showing our people who we are. We the Israelites. But we lost that identity because we went into slavery. You understand? You know about slavery? Sis, come back. Okay. Watch this. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Now we're going to get to the meat. Meaning what? We're going to get to the point. We're going to get to what God said he would do to his people. Let's start at Deuteronomy 1 verse 1. Because it's important to know our nationality. Why? Because we got to know how to get back on top. We got to know how to rule again. We got to know how to have people come in and work for us again. But we can't have that if we don't know who we were when we first failed. We can't have that. We have to come back to the roots. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So who is God speaking to in the book of Deuteronomy? Let's read it again.
These be the words
These be the words.
which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Who is God speaking to, Torah? Who is he speaking? Who is Moses speaking to? Okay, let's do it again.
These be the words
These be the words
which Moses spake unto all.
So he's speaking to a what? A specific group of people. Was he speaking to everybody? No. Watch this.
Unto all Israel.
Who?
All Israel.
So who was he speaking to? All Israel. That's it. Now Deuteronomy 28. We're going to jump in a chapter. Now, Moses said he was speaking to all Israel. Now we got to look and identify what happened to Israel to make them lose their name. Watch this, sis. Watch this, Trill. Read this. 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
God is saying, remember, he's speaking, Moses speaking to all Israel. This is him speaking to us. He said, it's going to happen to you, Israel. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
God said, if we as a people did not hearken, meaning what? To listen. Aren't black people, aren't we the most hard-headed people on the planet? Our so-called Hispanic people are the most hard-headed people on the planet. That's how we know we God's people.
Right.
Because of our disobedience to God.
This brother Mark.
Brother Marcus, how you doing? What we're going over right now is that sign right there, showing our people who we are, the 12 tribes of Israel. Right here, Moses is speaking, Marcus, to the Israelites. And he's telling them what would happen to them in the future, or in the last days, if they disobeyed. Sis, real quick before you leave, I want to read this. I don't want you to miss the point. Watch this, read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
And what?
all these curses,
God said what will come upon us? Curses, right? All these curses, read.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now watch this, Marcus. How did the black man get to this side of the world? Bible. Okay, some of us was already here, like so-called Native Americans. You got so-called Hispanics. They was here, right? Tainos, so on and so forth. Black, that's why I said so-called Native Americans. We are the same people. We was here. Some of us was here. But all of us was not here. A lot of us came from where? Africa. But how did we get to America? How did we get here, Martin? Sis, how did we get here?
We're already here in America. That's what I'm telling you.
But all of us was not here. How did we get here as a nation of people? Slave ships, right? Slave ships. Watch this. Listen, Marcus, watch this.
You listen.
I'm going to show you in the Bible. That's not what they taught us. This is biblical. Watch this, read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So God said what, Trill? He said he will bring us into Egypt, meaning what? We just left out of Egypt. We was in slavery to the Egyptians. They had us as slaves. God is telling us, Marcus. What's your name too, brother? Ace. God is telling us he will bring us back into a place like Egypt, slavery again. How?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
So the Bible prophesied the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
That's in the Bible. That's been in there all this time. And guess who it said what happened to? Who? The Israelites. So what does that make us as a nation of people? We the Israelites. To your point, yes, some of us was over here, but not all of us. God brought Judah over here to serve as slavery. After they got done using and abusing the so-called Native American man, they went to go get us, the so-called niggas, and they brought us over here to replace them. And we worked hard and built up America today.
Right.
This is why America is great, because the greatest people on the earth is here in America.
Right.
That's us. Not because of them. We were smartest. We was way smarter than them. We so-called couldn't read and write, but we still today seen and identified as one of the smartest people on the planet, one of the most athletic people on the planet, one of the most beautiful. We the greatest at everything we do. But God told us for our disobedience, we would go into slavery on ships.
Right.
So guess what we got to do? We have to obey God again.
Right.
Read this.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee,
Don't leave, Marcus.
thou shalt see it no more again.
Have we been back home? Have we been back to Jerusalem again?
Right.
Have we? No, we haven't. I ain't talking about one brother getting a plane ticket. Oh, I'm finna go to Jerusalem. I'm finna splash out. No. Us as a nation of people, have we been back home?
No.
Do we know where home is?
No.
No. We don't. Why? Because God told us if we disobeyed his commandments, we would go into slavery on ships. Who is he speaking to? The Israelites. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
What happened when we got off slave ships? You ever seen movies like Nat Turner, 12 Years a Slave? You ever seen any slave movies? Roots? Okay, Roots. Good. What happened when we got off the slave ship? They was beating us? What else? Cotton pick. But before all of that, before we got to the cotton picking and beatings, we were sold, right? We had to get put on the podium. Niggas sold $20, blah, 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 right? Tennessee, Mississippi, blah, 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 right? That happened. Watch this.
We really got over here because they saw how athletic we were.
Remember, what did the Bible say? Why did we get over here? Because we disobeyed the commandments. Because if that's the case,
They
right?
replaced us with the Native
Right.
Americans because how we adapt to our environment. We can get somewhere and make nothing into something.
Right.
And we better than Mexicans at working, basically. They just...
Right, but check this out, because we the same people. Blacks, Mexicans, and Spanish, we all the same. But watch
It was
this.
a deal made before that for gold.
Watch this though, watch this. Listen real quick.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Like you said, right? Like he said, when we got off the slave ships, we was what? Sold. God said that would happen to what people? So what does that make you? Yeah, what does that make you? Did that happen to your forefathers?
Yeah.
So what did that make you?
Yeah, that's us,
Us what? Who are we?
Israelites.
The Israelites.
Right.
That's. I just want you to say it so you can acknowledge what God called you.
Right.
So no more you can say I'm a nigga.
Right.
No more you can say I'm an African American. No more you can say I'm black.
Right.
Because the name Israel is power. That means God gave you his name.
Right.
Prince that has power with God.
That's right.
You got power with the creator of everything. You you ain't just a nigga no more. So guess what? You gotta act and treat yourself and treat your people way different. Like you see these young children right here? Let me ask y'all a question. Who is this? Is Jesus? You see that? It's Jesus. You see that, sis? These your children? You see who they said Jesus is?
He don't say yes or whatever. He don't even
who is this?
know what's going on.
You know who this is? Huh? He said he don't know. You don't see that? You see that? You see what these children said? They said this is Jesus. None of you black men got a problem with that? You don't think anything wrong with that?
I do.
That our children are growing up thinking they're Savior. Don't go nowhere, sis. Don't go nowhere, sis. I want to show them the truth. I want to show them the true image of Christ. Come on, sis. Come here. Come here. Listen. Don't listen. Don't leave. Don't leave. Sis, your son has to learn the true image. That the black man comes from royalty. That he looks exactly like God. That's what we got to show our people. Let's get Revelations 1. Because the young children said, she tried to defend them and say that they don't know. But then when I said, okay, who is this? You know what he said? But when I said, who is this? He said, Jesus. That's a problem. That's our problem that we got to fix among our black women.
Right.
We got to put empowerment back in them to show them that God looks like us.
That's right.
And we are gods.
That's right.
And we must rule our households. Meaning we must rule our nation. Read this. Revelation 1 verse 1.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So guess what? The revelation means what? The revealing. Now, John is about to show or give the revealing of what Jesus Christ looked like. And we're going to see if he looked like this, who the children thought was Jesus. Read.
His head, verse 14. His head.
Oh, I want you to start at verse 11. My brother, what's your name? Elijah Juan? Okay, so right now we're about to show the image and depiction of Christ in the Bible. Because right now our children are confused. And us as so-called black men, when we're really the Israelites, we must be teaching our people and our nation the truth about our nationality and about who we are. And about our images. Because we lost our images through slavery, through television. Our image today as a black man is a thug, a real nigga, street nigga, a shooter, a slider. And our image as women is what? Hoes, bees, prostitutes, independent black woman, I don't need no man. These are the things that have destroyed our nation.
That's right.
Right here we're going to give the empowerment back to our people. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega.
This is Christ speaking. He said, I am Alpha. Elijah one, right? Yes, sir. I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. Read.
The first and the last. And what thou seest.
What thou what?
What thou seest.
You know why it's important right there? Why I say what thou seest? Because all our life in Christianity, they taught us, nobody know what Jesus looked like. Nobody know what Jesus looked like. We never seen him. Wait a minute. Who is this? If we never seen him, why y'all giving us this image?
Right.
It makes no sense. That's called white supremacy. That's called slave tactics. Read on.
What thou seest, write in a book.
Not only did he say what you see, he said what? Write it in a what? A book. That's the Bible right here. This is a book of records of your forefathers. This is showing you who your forefathers are. Right. You know what we don't do? We don't read the records. Right. We allow man to say, oh, it don't matter, son. It don't matter. Don't look at it. I just do what I tell you.
They form of Jesus to us is Satan.
Exactly. Correct. Read this. Watch this, Elijah one.
What thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia. Unto
14.
Verse 14. His head and his hair.
I was going into what? His description. Just like it say his head and his hairs, meaning what? Elijah one. His head and his hairs on his head were what?
Were white like wool.
Gave you 2 things. A color and a texture.
Right.
The color is what? White. You agree? The texture is what? Wool. Now the question is, what is wool? So-called nappy hair, or the hair of a sheep. That's woolly hair. When you read older dictionaries, the word wool meant the hair of a Negro.
Right.
But you know, as time go on and a white man gets more deceitful and deceitful, we change his words' meanings. But the original meaning of the word wool used to be the hair of a Negro.
Right.
Showing you what? Christ was a so-called Negro. He had woolly hair.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.